LAT Property Show. Come, let us share our daily experiences. Viewers, welcome to LAT Property Show. On today's episode, we are touching on the breakdown of the cost involved in buying a property. Are you looking to purchase a property? You might need to listen to this episode so that you make an informed decision. We'll get right into it. So to start up with, of course, we're going to start looking at the purchase price. So you've seen the property that you're interested in purchasing. The price is the highlight. What is this property going for? Of course, you then look into the area, the surroundings, the contents of the property, which will actually then match the value of the purchase price. This is the amount you pay. A purchase price is the amount that you pay a seller for the property. For example, let's say you're buying a property for R1 million. What do you need to check on that? Of course, you need to consider transfer duty costs. Transfer duty costs, these are fees paid to the government for transferring ownership of a property. In South Africa, transfer duties range from 3% to 10% of the purchase price, depending on the value of the property, which is very important. You need to check the value of the property before you make a decision to buy, to check what will be the transfer cost on this. They range between 3 to 10%. So on our 1 million example property, you would pay about 30,000 rands to 100,000 in transfer duties. The third cost, bond registration cost. If you're financing your property purchase with a bond, that means you're being financed by the bank. So we've got two options in buying a property. That is, either you're buying it cash or you're purchasing it through a bank, you're getting assistance through a bond. You will need to pay bond registration costs. These costs include the bond registration fee, which is usually around 0.5% to 1% of the bond amount, as well as other costs like deed office fees and postage. On a 1 million rand bond, you need to pay around 5,000 rand to 10,000 in bond registration costs. We move to the other item of cost to consider when buying a property, that is conveyancing fees. Conveyancing fees are paid to the attorney who handles the transfer of ownership. So we're talking about your transferring attorney. These fees can vary depending on the attorney and the complexity of the transaction. But on average, you can expect to pay around 1 to 2% of the purchase price. So on a 1 million rand, so I'm just going to use the 1 million rand property as an example. You'll pay about 10,000 to 20,000 rand of conveyancing fees. Let's take a break.
Joe. Ha!
We are cruising nicely.
Do me a favor, please. Get out of here.
The fifth, probably the last, that's other costs. Finally, there are other costs to consider when buying a property. These might include costs like inspection fees, valuation fees, REDS clearance certificates. These costs can add up, so it's essential to factor them into your budget when you're making a decision to purchase a property. There you have it. The present of the cost is involved in buying a property. Remember to factor all these costs when calculating the total cost of your property. I'm going to run through those again. I think I missed one point to say, if you're either using a bond application, you might also consider that you might need a deposit, an initial payment before proceeding with the purchase. So a deposit is the difference that you might need to pay after you've been offered a bond of 90% by the banks. Then you need to pay the difference of 10% as a deposit of the fees. So just to count them through, we've got a deposit, we've got registration costs, also to add these deeds office fee cost. These are charged by the deeds office for registering a new ownership of the property. So there you go, your purchase price, transfer duty, bond registration cost, conveyancing cost, all those needs to be taken into consideration when looking to buy a property. We'll see you on the next episode where we look at other things that you need to consider before getting into investment or buying your first home. Thank you for watching LAT Property Show. See you next time.